And one of the most notorious game series out there is, of course, Grand Theft Auto. Now, while the first two Grand Theft Autos were strangely bizarre bird's eye view, top down of a cityscape in 2D, the jump to 3D really marked a revolution in the cultural era of video games, where suddenly a worldwide or citywide destruction simulator became very enticing. And this one is the especially a special edition double pack for Xbox, originally more of a PlayStation style game. These games really became super popular with non-gamers, really. And so at the beginning of this era, you had things like Grand Theft Auto 3. And Grand Theft Auto 3, after 2, this was the real revolution and the jump into the 3D space where things just worked really well. This was basically the first open world game for games in general. I mean, you had Ocarina of Time come out, which kind of did an open world, but this was the first true feeling of open world. And so 3, as it holds up today, it's still a decent game, but the story really isn't quite there. However, I do still kind of recommend it just for aesthetic reasons, and also if you're really into Grand Theft Auto and, 6 still hasn't released, I would actually give this a shot. It's not a terribly long game, but it has a very strange vibe to it. Maybe because it was just after 9/11 or just before, I forget, but it's around that time, and it takes place in Liberty City, which is New York, so it has a very distinct vibe. Severely contrasted to that is Grand Theft Auto Vice City. They kind of got into more of an expansionist mindset, and so this was almost kind of DLC, but its own thing. And Vice City, the vibe of this game honestly quite outlives its reputation, because the idea of this game is just a bunch of Scarface references and other things like that. But similarly enough, it's pretty much the exact same game as 3, but just in a warmer environment. The hues and tones of this game are much more distinct. But the overall game isn't that great in terms of the story. It's very much, it's very much okay overall. Then we get to the real sequel, still in this generation, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. This is it. This is the game that, if you're not sure where to start, I mean, any Grand Theft Auto you can really start. None of them are really tied together. You can jump in anywhere, but this is the game that is the best and that you could start with, because you can just jump into San Andreas. It is CJ's story. There's so many memes and culture based around this game, its character and its vibe. And also, it's the most advanced in terms of weird, cool things you can do. Like, there are weird vehicles in this thing, like motorcycles. And this was kind of the apex of that generation of Grand Theft Auto games. That this was the pinnacle and the peak that really pushed the limit. This one, it's somewhat similar to 3, but it feels like its own thing. And appropriately, it takes place on the East Coast this time. The West Coast. And yeah, it's just completely its own thing. It has chain guns, flamethrowers. It has all these cool mods for it. The main story is actually the first time I was actually super engaged, and honestly might have been the best stories. And just the whole vibe of this game is fantastic. And yeah, the story, everything about this game is peak. And honestly, I would say it's the best game in the series. Then from there on in, after that, from the jump to, next-gen technology, we have Grand Theft Auto 4. Now, this was a cultural event in its own, but I never really connected with this game like I did the previous ones. There was a greater emphasis on kind of realism and sort of this sterilization of fun. It was kind of like trying to be very serious about things. You play Niko Bellic, a Serbian immigrant or something, into into Liberty City. And this one, I mean, it's fun. The main story is okay. It's a basic revenge story. The best thing I remember of this one are the car physics. I think this one actually has better car physics than 5, which is saying something. And there's some interesting little things like hand-to-hand combat. But again, this is the main game that really, again, broke through the mainstream into the non-gamer zone. And then, of course, there's 5. But honestly, 5, as good as it is, I never really fully connected with it. It just felt too serious and too depressing. Trying to be more of a sim than a game. Trying to have, the element of fun that was in San Andreas was kind of wiped out. But yeah, if you have to play GTA, it's San Andreas, and that's it.